Alright, 3 tips on replacing the shattered glass on your new Samsung phone. Works from the Galaxy S3 and on, all the way through the Nexuses, the Notes, all that good stuff. This video is just about tips, so if you want to see the full, complete restoration of the phone, click on the bottom left-hand corner and that'll take you to a full video. Right now I am separating the glass from the buttons on the phone, so the buttons stay with the phone itself. You don't need to open up the phone to replace the screen on it. Right now I'm just peeling off the glass, because the glass is just a solid piece of glass. There's no wires coming out of it or anything. So I've gotten the buttons separated, and I've gotten the glass pieces coming out, and you'll see in a second why I called this mistake the teeter-totter effect, for lack of a better scientific term. You can see as I lift up on one corner of the glass, the other side of the glass is pressed into the digitizer underneath, and crack. The pressure cracks the digitizer underneath, and it doesn't take very much pressure at all, so you have to be really careful as you lift up to not put any pressure on the screen underneath the phone. It cracks the digitizer over the LED. And once that is cracked, there is no fixing it. You have to replace the screen as a unit. Mistake number 2, not enough heat. So you can see I had my blow dryer. I was going on this phone. I was kind of melting the glue between the glass and the digitizer. And you want to get it to a point where the glue is liquid enough that the glass kind of just peels away by itself. Here you can see I'm kind of struggling with it. The glass isn't wanting to separate from the phone. So I'm heating it up again with the blow dryer, which just never really gets hot enough. Some blow dryers might, mine did not. If all you need is the glass for your phone, you can usually find them on Amazon for less than 10 bucks. I will list them in the video description below, and you can just click on the link and it'll take you right to Amazon. This video is all about the common and very costly mistakes that people can make when swapping out your own screens and how to avoid them. This saves you a lot of money and everyone is happy, and you subscribe to my YouTube channel. But really, you should click the subscribe button below. Right here you can see that the glue is actually super stressed. You can see all the crack lines in it. It's just because it's not getting hot enough still. I'm kind of forcing it apart from the screen underneath. And it's not happy about it. So right here I'm going to come up from the other corner, and the digitizer is so stuck to the glass above it that it just starts cracking apart. And once it starts cracking, like I said before, there's no saving it. It is completely destroyed, and you just have to replace the whole screen as a unit. And I have videos for all of the Samsung phones on how to replace the screens as a unit, so just kind of search through my other videos if you end up destroying your screen. This is usually just a cheaper alternative for the people who don't want to spend a whole lot of money. The screens for these phones are they're about 10 bucks just for the glass part. Anyway, once I realized it was broken, I just ripped off the whole screen. This kills the phone. Alright, mistake number 3, too much heat. So I got a new heat gun, and I started off way too close to the screen. It heated up way too fast. So you want the screen to be at the point where you can barely touch it with your hand, where you wouldn't want to rest your finger on the screen, and that gets the glue to the right temperature where it'll separate from the glass. So here you can see through the crack in the screen that it's heated up so much that it's actually started to discolor the LED underneath the glass. At this point I realized that I had messed up, but I decided to keep going anyway. So you can see that the screen is super hot at the moment, and as I kind of peel it up from the phone, the glue just kind of is super liquid underneath, and it just slides away, and the glass is actually really easy to just pry up and away from the phone. Right now I'm also pulling it up at an angle to avoid that teeter-totter effect, so I'm not putting any pressure on the digitizer underneath the glass. Same thing with this, you can see the glue separating from the digitizer and the glass itself. You want to find a happy medium, between this and mistake number 2. You don't want to see those stress fractures in the glue, but you also don't want to, damage your LED either. It's a fairly expensive mistake. Now I have the new piece of glass on top of the phone, and I'm just running the heat over it really quick just to make sure that the double-sided sticky tape that I have underneath kind of melts again to the glass and holds it a little bit stronger than it would normally. I have that same screen attached to my test phone, and you can see the burn mark right there in the LED. There's no fixing it. If you want to see how a screen swap is done correctly, go ahead and click in the bottom left-hand corner, and that'll take you straight to the video where it's 100% is done perfect. And yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. You can also find me on Facebook, Jerry Rig Everything. On Twitter, Zach's Jerry Rig. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put up videos fairly often, and I would love to see you around. Thanks for watching.